retirement ceremony. I am Airman First Class Trayvon Thompson, your narrator for today's events. Recognizing a member who is retiring from a career-long and honorable service is one of the oldest traditions of the military. A retirement ceremony is a prestigious event and the highest honor we can give a retiring Air Force Airman. This ceremony is used to say thank you for faithful service, to wish good luck in the future endeavors, and bid a heartfelt farewell as an airman transitions into Air Force retirement. Through this transition, we must remember that military retirement is just an extension of an active duty career. A retired Air Force Airman will continue to be a valuable part of the United States Air Force community. Today, we have the pleasure of recognizing Master Sergeant Paul Slattery on the occasion of his retirement from active duty, culminating in 24 years of faithful and honorable service in the United States Air Force. Around you are just a few of the many pieces of equipment that Sergeant Slattery has maintained during his career, and more than likely, one or two of these actual units he probably physically touched as a brand new airman straight out of Texas. Officiating today's ceremony will be the Chief Basis and Theater Posture Branch, Bases and Forces Division, Directorate of Plans, Programs, and Analysis, Headquarters, U.S. Air Forces in Europe and Africa, Major Brian Wong. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official parties and remain standing for the presentation of color and the singing of the German and American national anthems by the same sailors.
Present the colors.
Out! Hands, move! Hold it, hop! Over, hop! Out! Hop! Present, hop! Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Danach lasst uns alles leben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hand. Einigkeit und Recht.
Captain Schrader, will you please come forward and give the invocation?
Well, as we prepare for the invocation, Master Slattery asked us to do something special in memory of a couple guys that we lost this year. It seems like this final year of his career has been bookended by the loss of two of our own Eagles. So we're going to start with a moment of silence for them, and then I'll open us in prayer for the invocation. So I'll remind us who those people were. Staff Sergeant Michael Close, right here from our age flight last May 24th. And earlier this year, just a couple months ago, Airman First Class Nathan McDavitt, of course, sustaining injuries from a weather-related incident in their deployed location. So let's remember those guys as we start. Father in heaven, as we open this retirement ceremony with remembrance of those we have lost in this last year, in the prime of their life and in the prime of their career, having heard our national anthems, we reflect on the unique privilege it is to be an American. Of all times in human history to be alive and at all places on earth, we have the privilege and the responsibility of being citizens of the United States of America and members of the world's greatest flying force. Today we turn our attention to honoring Master Sergeant Slattery and his family for their 24 years of service. Father, we thank you for the time, the energy, and expertise that they have invested into making our world a better place. Master Sergeant Slattery has proven himself capable and faithful with the gifts, talents, and responsibilities he's been entrusted with. As he and his family enter this new stage of their life and career, I pray you guide and direct them whatever may come their way. Thank you for the friends and the family that have traveled to be with us today, who stood by his side, and supported and encouraged him to this point. We thank you for them and the many that can't be here today, the sacrifices they've made as he's faithful to serve. And for Master Sergeant Slattery, I ask for a sense of pride as he looks back on his career and peace as he looks forward. May today's ceremony be a reminder and a catalyst for each of us to do the job that we've been given to do it with excellence, service before self. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Captain Schrader. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Before we begin today's ceremony, we would like to extend a warm welcome to Sergeant Slattery's family members in attendance, his wife Mona, their son Taylor, his fiancee Jaylynn, granddaughter Hazel, and his nephew, Staff Sergeant Sean Slattery. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to the following guests: the Vice Commander of 52nd Maintenance Group, Lieutenant Colonel David Short, the Commander of 52nd Equipment Maintenance Squadron, Major David Marsh, and his wife Mel. Additionally, we welcome all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, spouses, friends, and members of the Sabre Nation. Welcome and thank you all for being with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our officiating officer for today's ceremony, Chief Strategic Basing and Posture Branch, Major Brian Moore.
So I know when you listen to that title, maybe some of you in the room are wondering what that is. If you figure it out, let me know, because I'm just struggling to figure it out as well. So is anybody out in the audience nervous? For some reason, I knew you would. I'll tell you what, I've never seen Paul more nervous than I have today. I've never seen an individual pace back and forth, kind of see what's going on, barely eat any food, just because he knows that 2 o'clock isn't really the end of the road. But at the same time, it culminates many years of service. Before that, I do have to say that it's awesome to be back here. I think I come back here pretty often. At the same time, it's nice to look out in the audience and see a bunch of folks, especially the new folks with new rank. Just having that rooftop, whether that may be, or that extra stripe, makes you just look just a little bit older. And that mustache makes it yeah. But at the same time, Colonel Short, Dave, thanks for coming out today, and of course, congratulating Paul on his years of dedicated service to the military. And also, we never get an opportunity or a chance to say thank you to the civil service that are always gone before we even start, but thanks to them. and also for putting this whole event together. So Senior Master Sergeant Chad Corcoran, I'm not sure where you are in the audience, but thank you for that. Aaron Thompson, quite an eloquent speaker, doing very well here. And also Aaron McGee, volunteered to be a proctor as well. It's great to see strong professional airmen coming in and contributing to an individual's career. So with that being said, not only that, 52nd Recruitment Maintenance Squadron Eagles, the age ranges that are out there, friends of Sergeant Slattery, thanks for coming out today. However, most importantly, I have to say thank you to Paul's family, Mona, son Tyler, fiance Jalen, granddaughter Hazel, and Sean. I know you traveled far to get over here, but I think it's awesome. And he was bragging about it months ago that it's great to know that you guys will be able to spend today with him. It's no doubt to me, and I'm sure no doubt to many of you, that throughout Paul's Air Force career, you have shaped him in many ways and contributed not only to success, but his approach to life and what he cherishes in it. I already know that you already know it, but if I can provide any assurance to you that your husband, your father is not only a great person at home, but he's brought those same qualities into his professional life as his private life. I know you obviously know him well, but his words at home go beyond that in the deeds he has accomplished for his fellow airmen in our Air Force, which is nothing short of exceptional. Also, even though I know she's not with us, I would like to let you know that Paul's mom was very influential in his life, and his upbringing and ethic is a testament to her. Moving around a lot as a child with 3 siblings and a single parent is tough. Paul's mom held 2 jobs, took care of the kids, made some significant sacrifices by living out in the outskirts of good school districts just to ensure that her kids got a good education. I think that her contributions, those actions alone, have obviously affected you, the way you approach things, and definitely molded you through your career in the Air Force. Paul, I also have to give you a heartfelt thanks for asking me to preside over this ceremony. It's an honor, and I'm always humbled by the opportunity to be part, especially part of your 24 years of service. From the moment I met you, which was over the phone, while you were deployed, I knew the type of dedicated leader that you are and what you would bring when you returned. Selfless attitude and exceptional work ethic. In fact, one of his supervisors commented that Paul was an outstanding individual with superior mechanical skills who jumped at every opportunity to tackle a new task, always moving in a forward motion. I love that line in so many ways, but mainly it summarizes how Paul approached the mission and contributed to many successes in the Air Force. In the next few minutes, I wanted to talk to you briefly about not only where he's been, but what Paul epitomized during his service in the Air Force and who he is today. I won't fill it in with a bunch of statistics or anything like that. I just want to express words. Words for me are important, and the way that you express words about someone obviously means someone's going to take time to think about words carefully on how they describe someone. A brief look into his career shows that Paul was part of an exceptional few who were able to maintain a steady presence in fairly decent locations across the globe. After training in technical school as a young DIN-Star apprentice, Paul was fortunate enough to land himself right here at Spangdahlem Air Base in this very squadron in 1992. I wonder how many of you remember what you were doing, if some of you were even born in 1992. It was a totally different Air Force. I think I was in the 7th grade. Than what we know today. We're fighting a conventional war that the majority of us here have never experienced. Though for young Paul, he had to deal with the aftermath of the Gulf War and deployed forward to support Operation Provide Comfort. And as a young airman, was described as diligent, superb, and unsurpassed, even commented as a sterling example of professionalism. Although time was short, and in about 2 years, Paul packed up his bags and went off to Mountain Home Air Base, Idaho. But it's pretty amazing that Paul established his roots in the very squadron that he is retiring from. A squadron that we all know will also retire about the same time that he does. At Mountain Home, Paul continued the path of establishing himself as a front runner amongst age maintainers and again deployed forward to support Operation Provide Comfort 2. Again, as in Spangdahlem, Paul was noted as an extremely brilliant young airman who exceeded all expectations on technical and leadership development. Words matter, as I said before, and that type of statement says many things about a young, at the time, senior airman. Although many may think that Mountain Home, the hub of Delmore County, is not a choice assignment, but I think for Paul, it was a memorable one. It was during this assignment that he married Mona Lisa on September 30, 1996. I am sure that she was the motivation behind Paul's ability to attack any and all tasks with a can-do determination. However, I question one of the comments on his EPR from a Tech Sergeant Rhodes. able to take over supervisory responsibilities while NCOs are out. My question is, where are the NCOs? Regardless, for the next 7, yes, I said 7 years at Mountain Home, Paul made significant contributions, and I could bore you with the statistics, rates, and the like, but I think what's the most important is showing his attitude, character, and absolute professionalism he brought to the team. Here are the things that his numerous supervisors had to say about him. Highly motivated and energetic. Consistent display of exceptional technical knowledge and natural leadership abilities. Unlimited potential. Excellence is his credo. Leadership and job performance demands more responsibility and authority. Paul earns and leaves Mountain Home as an NCO, where he is given more responsibility as demanded from his supervisors. Paroled and moved to Osan Air Base, Korea. Now, how many folks in the audience have been to Korea? A majority of you. So let me know if you fall in one of these categories. So first, you have the folks that go there that are non-balls and do the short straw. Okay. The second are the gung-ho that love the fast-paced mission. And the third are the airmen that use Korea as a stepping stone to a great follow-on assignment. My guess is that Paul, you were number 2. Fortunately, Paul spent his time with the 5th Reconnaissance Squadron. The guys that the 51st Fighter Wing were envious of because they never seemed to play in any of the ORs. Regardless, knowing the hard charger that he is, I know that he was wishing and envious of those that were able to wear a gas mask for 4+ hours. By sheer luck and chance, Paul was rewarded for his hard time at Osan by getting assigned back here at Spangdahlem in the mighty 52nd Equipment Maintenance Squadron in 2002. For the next 3 years, Paul transitioned from Staff Sergeant to Tech Sergeant and polished his leadership skills during further both in garrison and deployed, supporting both Iraqi and enduring freedom. I think it was here where Paul began to develop a knack for innovation, as comments about his ability to think outside the box were vigorous in his reports. Still maintaining the same forward motion, he was noted as innovative, incredible, positive can-do attitude, superior who accepts nothing less than the best. H Flight's most adept NCO always performs above peer grade and takes charge and makes things happen. From Spangdahlem, Paul and Mona went back to the States with a nice assignment to McCord Air Force Base, Washington in 2005. As previously noted, innovation for Paul took a whole different course for him here. He was heavily involved in process improvement and continued to perform above his pay grade, thus was promoted to Master Sergeant during this assignment. His performance reports were littered with accolades regarding cost and manpower saving initiatives he spearheaded and was even called a zealot for his approach to process improvement. He laid a positive impression on his leadership and also earned accolades as AMC's Maintenance Professional of the Year. He made a name for himself and was even credited further with a by-name request from the AMC A4 to be part of a support equipment work group for the command. I'm not sure if he used those connections for his next assignment, but Paul was given orders in 2011 to come back here, to Spangdahlem Air Base and this squadron. This is where I got to witness Paul's ethic and caliber, and I'm very glad I was part of the team that he was also a part of. He's excelled at the squadron group superintendent, lead pro super, and as flight chief, which I think is one of the most demanding jobs our Air Force gives to senior NCO leaders, in which you directly affect people's lives, you mentor professionals, and take care of airmen, all while keeping a pulse on operations and the mission. Absolutely unforgiving, yet the most rewarding. In fact, after talking with Paul, his time as flight chief was the most memorable of his career, and definitely the most rewarding. Paul said that taking care of people, making a real impact, and being a part of the organic and mechanic piece of the job makes it all worthwhile. He attested that during his time as a flight chief, he looked forward to work every day. And I can relate to that and completely understand where he's coming from. I could always count on Paul to give me the facts, quickly and effectively, and without little complaint. He always charged to the next task and performed exceptionally. It was a pleasure working with you, Paul. I think some of his airmen may have thought that Sergeant Slattery was a crusty hard ass. But there's a sticker out there, so I'm assuming that's true. But I think you have to understand the narrative that drove Sergeant Slattery to the way he is today. I think the previous words have outlined that Sergeant Slattery likes efficiency and has a high standard for excellence. I think a lot of the efficiency was driven from the fact that Paul cherished his time with his family. And he even stated that he wants to ensure the work gets done, but if we can get the work done more efficiently, driving things quicker, then we have more opportunity to spend time off duty. On the other hand, I think there are many airmen out there that need to thank Mona Slattery for ensuring that her husband did not become a workaholic, hard-nosed leader. If it wasn't for Mona, Paul said, I don't think I would have a life besides work. I do things efficiently so I can spend more time with her. Something that I think all of us can learn from in how we approach a proper work and life balance. Efficiency and innovation can play a huge role in that. As I begin to close, I would like to share some thoughts with you about Paul, to attest to his dedication and focus. When asked about what he thought his greatest professional achievement was, he stated that it was a coin from a chief while he was deployed. This chief yelled at him for his appearance and stated that he was dirty and looked like crap. However, after understanding that the uniform was relatively new, but soiled due to the nature of the hard-working Angel Ranger, the chief's tone changed and stated that you guys work way too hard, and was coined and even given a commendation medal for his deployment. I think the majority of us in maintenance know what a dirty uniform equates to, and it makes me proud to know the hard work that is consistently driven and done by the maintainers. Also, I asked him some questions regarding his philosophy on life, success, and personal things that kept him going. There was something very consistent in all of his replies, and that was Mona, and what you have done for Paul's career and success in the Air Force. I think that the most remarkable is how you and Paul became foster parents, and even went as far as getting certified to foster high-risk youth, which I know has its challenges, but also has its significant rewards. In fact, Paul said being a foster parent has allowed him to be a better flight chief and leader, as it enables you to understand how to mentor young people. As an example of that, he said that as a foster parent, the only thing you may want to do is all you may want them to do is to eat a piece of toast. It may seem relatively simple to the majority of us in the room, but to others, it may be the most difficult thing ever. Understanding that approach, understanding where different people come from, are paramount in leading and mentoring a diverse force. Although that was a very intriguing look at how to rationalize and focus on people's strengths and weaknesses for the betterment of the team, and like you said, though, at the end of the day, we must all understand that it's not about you. It's about the impact you make on other people and how they succeed in life. Just like Master Sergeant Joe Alvarez, who told Paul that he still bases his leadership on what Paul taught him as a young airman. It's about the ace flights around the globe that know the legacy you left them, but are continuing to greater successes as a team and pressing with a continual forward motion. It's not about you, but leave an impact and make the team better. So, in closing, thanks again for allowing me to talk about you today. You will be missed as you move on to the next chapter in your life. I hope you can fulfill your hobbies of softball, working on the lawn, which I know can provide that instant gratification when you see it's done, and cooking. I really do hope that you get to culinary school and establish a gourmet food truck like you talked about, and I'd like to be one of your first customers. So please do keep in touch. I hope that you can enjoy time off with family and friends, socializing to the night's end, and telling war stories or watching stupid pet tricks. Good luck to you, your family, as I wish you many successes and happiness in your career and for the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Major Wong. Sergeant Slattery, would you please join Major Wong at center stage? Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal to Master Sergeant Paul J. Slattery.
Over to yours.
Attention to order. This is certified that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16, January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Master Sergeant Paul J. Slattery for meritorious service 21 October 2011 to 31 July 2016. Master Sergeant Paul J. Slattery distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as lead production superintendent, 52nd Equipment Maintenance Squadron, 52nd Maintenance Group, 52nd Fighter Wing, Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany. During this period, Sergeant Slattery deployed to Al Dhafra Air Base, United Arab Emirates, as Aerospace Ground Equipment Flight Chief. He expertly blended 38 airmen from 7 bases to maintain 460 pieces of equipment supporting coalition fighters, tankers, and surveillance aircraft. He was also selected as Maintenance Squadron Production Superintendent, where he melded 389 airmen to accomplish over 4,000 maintenance tasks on 63 aircraft, all while completing 10 F-15 phase inspections. His team's Herculean efforts enabled 35,000 combat flying hours in just 4 months. Furthermore, Sergeant Slattery led his flight in saving 20,000 man-hours by streamlining the equipment inspection process. These innovations led to the flight-winning 2013 Unit Effectiveness Inspection Superior Team and United States Air Force and Europe Air Force's Africa Pathfinder Award. Finally, as lead production superintendent, he was vital to the completion of 18 F-16 phase inspections in just 11 months. His efforts returned 7,200 hours to the 52nd Fighter Wing and enabled the largest flying hour program in over 10 years, with over 6,748 flying hours. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Slattery culminated a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. The retirement ceremony now begins with the reading of the retirement orders.
Publish the orders.
Attention orders. Department of the Air Force, Washington, District of Columbia, Special Order Number AC008659, dated the 28th day of March, 2016. Master Sergeant Paul Slattery, 52nd Fighter in the United States Air Force in Europe, is retired from active duty on the 1st day of August, 2016, after 24 years of faithful and honorable duty. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Every person retiring from active duty is presented with a special certificate of retirement to commemorate their active duty career. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with the devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack H. Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Next, we have the Certificate of Retirement. It reads as follows. This is to certify that Master Sergeant Paul J. Slattery, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on the 1st day of August 2016. Signed, Joseph D. McFall, Colonel Commander, 52nd Fighter Wing, and Mark A. Welch, General Chief of Staff. Major Wong will now present a letter of appreciation to Sergeant Slattery from the 52nd Fighter. Dear Sergeant Slattery, my congratulations and sincere best wishes for continued prosperity as you retire from the Air Force. Retirement is a special and joyous occasion. Although you will no longer wear a uniform every day, you will be a part of our Air Force and 52nd Fighter Wing family. You can reflect proudly upon many significant accomplishments of your many years of service to our nation. Know that you have truly made a difference to our Air Force and to the hundreds of airmen you have touched along the way. Your dedication, integrity, and service before self serve as an example to all of us. As you move on to a new beginning, please accept my personal thanks for a job well done. It is my honor to inform you that you have well and faithfully discharged your duties. In the words of George Washington, may your future be as happy and prosperous as your past has been honorable and glorious. God bless and Godspeed to you and your family. Sincerely, Joseph D. McFall, Colonel, United States Air Force. Sergeant Slattery has also received a personal certificate of appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, James Cody. It reads as follows. I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. The achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of our great service. Your retirement is well-deserved, but your selfless contributions will be sorely missed. On behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter in your life closes and a new one begins, I hope the years ahead are filled with more and great memories and continued success. Signed, James Cody, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Every retired retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their active duty service. At this time, I'd like to ask Mona to come forward and place the pin on his lapel to symbolize his transition from active duty to retired status. Mona, would you please remain on stage? Major Wong will now present you with a certificate of appreciation. The first certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service, signed Joseph D. McFall, Colonel Commander, 52nd Fighter Wing, and Mark A. Wells, General Chief of Staff. The next certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. On behalf of all Air Force airmen and their families, I join your spouse, family, and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifices you've made in support of our United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service in defense of our nation. Signed, James Cody, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Thank you, Mona. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Master Sergeant Paul J. Slattery, United States Air Force, retired.
So if y'all are wondering, yeah, I'm gonna cry.
I'm wondering where your beard is.
Right.
There we go.
I got my speech right here. So, at first, Colonel Short, thank you for coming. Major Marsh, Chief Nerve for coming all the way from Ramstein. Major Wong, thank you. Great speech, of course. Chaplain, perfect. Couldn't ask for anything better. Sergeant Corcoran, Sergeant Armsy, Sergeant Mulrain, Sergeant Thompson, Sergeant Point, love it. And Sergeant Hamlin, thanks for putting all this together. The cookout today was amazing. Really appreciate it. So I'm not as organized as I probably should be. I took a lot of notes and a lot of other stuff. So it's really hard for me. I love this job. I love it. No, I love being an age ranger. I really did. This was like the best job in the entire Air Force. You crew chief try to say stuff, you sheet metal guys, all the other people think, but no, it's age. We do everything. When you need something fixed, who do you come to? Right? You break it, and we fix it. Right? That's what happens. I've gotten to talk to a lot about my passion for this job. As you've heard in the speech, I'm always trying to get ahead. Chief Nerve knows, who's with me, doing a lot of this stuff. It's got me in trouble, but it has brought me great success to have that kind of passion. So when I found out that I wasn't being selected for senior, and I knew that I was going to have to retire, I had a lot of grandiose idea of this great speech I wanted to put on for you today. And after a lot of beers and some whiskey and a lot of undecipherable sticky notes lying around my house, this is what you're going to get. From the beginning, I started my career here in Germany. Right? I always wanted to come to Germany. And I think it's awesome, even though I didn't live here. that I'm actually ending my career where I started. In the same shop, in this building, as part of Blue Cat. Red Cat. One of the great things that, I started off here and then I got orders to Mount Home. I'm like, sweet, another overseas assignment. Because I didn't know where Idaho was, I was from Connecticut. Burma, USA, I was like, where's Idaho? But it was a great assignment. I met Mona, my beautiful wife. It's going to happen. She has been an inspiration. She says that it was, felt bad about asking me to come home and be there, but that's all I wanted to do, was to be at home with her. So I worked as hard as I could all week long, so I wouldn't have to be bothered on the weekend and we could spend time together. And she would understand when I had to be here 12, 14, 16 hours at times, get called in for load duty at Mountain Home, and have to crack a beer, phone rings, and I have to leave for another 12 hours. She was there for me through all that, and I really, really appreciate it. We actually met on a blind date. Neither of us really wanted to go on this blind date. I was buying a car down in Boise, Idaho, and my buddy was taking me there who was going on a date with her cousin. But we met that night, and we couldn't stop talking. And for 21 years, we haven't stopped talking to each other. We have talked and talked, and people were like, would you just stop and be part of the party? We're like, no, we're good. So it was one of those things that even after all this time, we hit our 20-year anniversary on September 30th of this year. So I don't really have a problem with commitment, as you can see, 24 years in the Air Force. It also, when I was there at Mountain Home, I got introduced to Tyler, first my son. He has been an inspiration to me and continues.
That's going to make you more emotional.
Now, give me the break I need.
Let it out.
He has been an inspiration to me and continues to impress me every day. The stress you have caused me, Tyler, has made working in this age flight easy. The stuff you put me through during your time in the Marine Corps and growing up and doing things in sports that I had no idea, wrestling, I had no idea how to even cheer for wrestling. But we did it. We supported you. Now you've supported me in all my jobs and everything that I've done. You've turned into an outstanding man. A loving father. And I would like to give you some, Tyler. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these before. This is the child medal. And I'll read it to you. I'll try to read it to you. Throughout the years of your life, you have made sacrifices and served this country in the Marine Corps as I have done in the Air Force. In your loving way, you quietly shouldered the heavy burden you were asked to carry. Most of the time, you did not understand why I was not there, but you quietly hid the tears, which I'm not doing. You put on a smile and finally promised that you would support me. You were then and now one of the most important parts of my life. It was your love that enabled you to ensure me that what I was doing was important. I missed so many holidays and countless special occasions while you were left at home to work while I was on difficult missions. You had to say goodbye to friends, and when we moved throughout the years and changed schools, your resiliency and self-confidence throughout those frequent moves gave me strength. I'm proud of you. It was your love and support that sustained me through those difficult times. There's no way in my mind, that I could have had success in the military without having your support, your understanding, and most importantly, your unquestionable love. I do have more of this week, but I don't know if I can get through it. So like Major Wong pointed out, my career has taught me that it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about those who you are teaching, who you are trying to inspire. Right? So while Mona and I were discussing some things and talking about my leadership and what I've learned, we came up with this analogy. And there's some analogies out there you can look up, but we were talking, and one of the ones that I love is you're a gardener. What you do is you garden your shops and your flights. Things will grow if you take the time to tend to them. If you don't, it won't grow. Or let me rephrase that, it will grow, but it'll be surrounded by weeds. You need to feed them, you need to remove the weeds, you need to water them, and you basically need to care for them. It takes time and dedication. Time and dedication to have a good garden. So, for some of you at first, you'll pull a couple weeds here, throw down some water, and your crop will be small. You know, maybe get a pepper or two. But you'll learn from that, and the next season, you'll do better. And you'll learn from other gardeners, your neighbors. And of course, if you're not doing this on your own, there are other people who have lots of experience. The farmers, the people who own greenhouses, they're going to be there. They will teach you and help you how to become better. As you give that time and dedication, you will learn that some plants will want to take over more of your garden. And that's when you're going to need to cut them back and mentor them. Sure, you may want to grow that prize tomato to put at the state fair, but what are you really sacrificing when you do that? It has to have that same plot of land to grow, that flight. Sometimes there are weeds that grow and continue to grow, and then you have to take drastic measures to get rid of that weed. Remember that all gardeners and farmers are growing the same thing you are, but they're all trying to do the same thing. You don't go to a farmer and ask to smell his manure. You take that manure and you make it into fertilizer and you grow your garden. So that's about all I can really stand to talk about. I have had an outstanding career. It has been bittersweet. I really am entirely impressed with all that's being focused on me. I don't think that I'm used to this kind of stuff. I'm glad to see that there's a lot of people here. I'm glad a lot of people came out. I think I might even be the last person to retire as EMS. I think I am. So I start my career here, and I'm going to close down EMS. So, everybody's got their last little things. I have a few myself. Stop being offended. Okay? Don't be hypocritical when it comes to leading. And stop and listen to what's going on around you. Time and dedication will yield a lot. Not everybody gets a medal. Not everybody gets a medal. And remember, it's not about you. Thank you.
At the request of Sergeant Slattery, we would like to go over the origin Aged troops were called Age Rangers because of their time in Vietnam. Snipers would take pot shots at the troops moving around the perimeter or wherever they could be seen. Since light carts and other equipment was supposed to be deployed in the vicinity of the perimeter and the end of the runway, these made easy targets for the snipers. So when the H troops had to pull up to service the equipment, one guy fell out the hitch while the other covered him with his rifle. The SPS, upon either seeing this or seeing the H guys on their way for servicing, would note the weapons and the rumor group had said, there go the H Rangers, as a sort of a joke.
Flight attention! No air power!
Without ground power!
See you tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, in appreciation for his contribution to the Air Force and its mission, the men and women of the United States Air Force are proud that I served with Sergeant Slattery and assure him he will always be a valuable member of the Air Force family. Even in retirement, we wish him and his family every success in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of the official party. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. Everyone is invited to join Sergeant Slattery for a reception in the other bay. Please feel free to come forward and congratulate Sergeant Slattery and his family on this momentous occasion.